What's up, CineNerds? JP Cross as always, and I'm missing my partner Ryan tonight because I'm on a special location with,
Me,
and this is Jason.
Jaysen Buterin.
There you go. If you don't know who he is, he did the film Kill Giggles that came out. It came out streaming. It was about 2 months ago now.
Yeah, about 2 months. End of August. So when it finally got released.
So, I knew of this film, and because I knew people in the film, like I'm friends with John Mazza,
Brother Mass.
and obviously Jody Johnson that runs a toy store. One you guys have heard me talk to Jody. He runs like my favorite toy store in the whole country.
And he's one hell of a security guard too, I might add.
And yeah, and Wes Eller was another security guard in the film. So I knew these guys, but actually I knew of the film because of Mazza, not even because of Jody. I knew it because of Mazza because
Your poster's in the bathroom.
my poster. There's a poster in the bathroom for A Killer's Confession, but pre-mask, because now we wear the mask. But it was pre-mask A Killer's Confession, so it was like there was a poster in what was Ziggy's. What's it called now? It was
it's the Ramcat.
Ramcat, yeah. So there was actually A Killer's Confession Easter egg in the film, and so when that was filmed, Mazza actually messaged me. I don't know if he had told you this. He messaged me, and I mean, yeah, random Mazza, but he was like, "Hey, we filmed this scene, and there's actually a Killer's Confession poster. Is that okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." But I think he was thinking, will the record label trademarks with record label or anything? If somebody says something, I'm like, "It's a poster. Like, yeah, it's fine." So I actually knew about the film from back then as you guys were filming, which
that was the last day of filming too. That was a tough day.
yeah. And that was a long time ago. So that was you guys started filming this when?
We filmed this in 2019, so in the olden times before the apocalypse came.
Yeah.
And yeah, before Skynet, the apocalypse, and all that good stuff. So yeah, we started in 2019. It was a 19-day film shoot to shoot an entire feature-length movie.
That's not bad. That's a pretty rigorous.
That's kind of balls to the wall for anybody, especially the bare bones indie level that we were at. But we did a meticulous amount of planning and just pre-production and stuff like that. But yeah, we did, I think it was 10 days straight, and then we had a week off, and then we did another 9 days straight, and just banged the entire thing out.
Yeah, and yeah, that's like Roger Corman style.
I wouldn't advise it. It's not smart to do.
Yeah.
I think I'm still recuperating from that to a certain degree. I slept for like a week after that, and then that last day of filming where, the AKC poster or AKC poster was in there. That was, I think, about like a 16 or a 17-hour day.
Wow.
I mean, it was nuts because we were hours behind. Like we were supposed to be out of the Ramcat, I think, by like 9. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning by the time. Like everything was just running so far behind. But it was our last day. Like we had to get everything done. It was a labor of love for sure.
Yeah. So and so this film was filmed in 2019.
Yes.
And obviously it didn't come out until 2025 now. So I'm assuming COVID was some of that delay. But what happened?
We like to practice tantric filmmaking. So it's like we make a movie and then we want to hold on to it for years and years and years, and then finally you get that sweet release. That's what I tell people because it sounds a lot better than just we were sitting around with our thumbs up our butts being like, is the movie going to come out? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, good. But yeah, we had everything ready to go. We shot it in 2019. We had everything ready to go. We came out of post in early 2020. We were ready to hit the ground running. And then everything came to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
Sometimes it still feels like it's March of 2020. We haven't moved past that yet. So that just derailed everything. And then the distribution agents that we signed with, we ended up getting our deal through with Grindstone / Lionsgate. And going through all of their quality control tests. And I had, like when we started the movie, I had no idea about deliverables. I'm like, and then there was legal deliverables and digital deliverables. And I mean, Kill Giggles completely changed the way that we approach filmmaking because we had to deal with studio level deliverables and legal stuff and just everything. And we had no fucking clue what was coming.
And I get it from the music side.
And I mean, it was just, it was exhausting. So we had a really good movie before we started that process. By the time we came out of their studio deliverables, we have an amazing fucking film.
Yeah.
And it was worth it to certain degrees, but it's like it took a long time. They're like, they'd ask me like, well, where's everyone's I-9s? I'm like, Well, we didn't have them fill out I-9s. Well, you need I-9s. And this was 6 months after COVID. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. So I had to email like 155 people. I'm like, I need your driver's license, your passport, your social security. They're like, why do you want this stuff? I'm like, I don't want it. They need it. So I go through DocuSign. I went through this whole laborious process. I did not hack the I-9 PDF form from the government. That was not me. And then we went through this whole thing, and I've got everything on a flash drive. I'm like, where do you want me to send these? Oh, we don't need this. So I've still got the flash drive and a fireproof safe because I know at some point they'd be like, "Oh yeah, about those I-9s." So I'm like, "Here you go, right on top of that." Yeah. So I mean, it was one thing after another. We went through quality QC tests, and we had no idea about that. And those things are about like $2,500 a pop. And I mean, they crucify your movie down to like a granular level.
Yeah.
Like if you've got like my hand brush across your leg, but there's not a Foley sound effect for that on a list, you fail. Yeah. And if you fail one thing, you fail the whole. And it's just like, so I mean, we went through that twice, and we finally passed. And then like a year later, we got re-QC'd because Grindstone's legal department was entirely replaced. I mean, it was just sort of one thing after another. I had pretty much just kind of given up hope because like we were asking like, when's the movie come out? And like, we don't know. We'll let you know. And like after 2 or 3 years of hearing that, you're just like, okay. And like, people are asking me, when's it coming out? I'm like, I don't know. Like I ran out of creative stories to tell people around 2022, 23.
Well, sometimes it's not as simple as, hey, we filmed this, did this film, now we're just going to release it. Sometimes it's just not that simple, especially in today's world where you're in the digital world.
Yeah.
You know, the old school ways of filming, for me, in my mind, you know, especially from the music side, because I know the music side with the red tape, you know, I mean, you still see restock fees on digital music. Why is there a fucking restock fee?
What are you restocking?
What are you restocking? You know. So I mean, you see some all this stupid shit. You know. So, but you know, even at a indie label for a musician, I mean, you could record an album. You could have it pressed and put it out yourself. And same for a lot of old indie guys that years ago before we had digital. You could film a movie. You could edit it. You could send it off to press and have it printed and sell it yourself, you know, independently, and maybe luck up and get it played in a few movie theaters, you know. But now in the digital world, you know, there's more stats, especially once you get studios involved, you know. They're going to tear it apart. They're going to want to make sure that quality, no different than, you know, record labels. For us, we got to send masters.
Right.
You got to send the masters to the labels. They have to approve that shit, you know. And I imagine it's way more tedious for film because if you have a Pepsi logo in the back of a shot, you know, they're going to want that scrubbed.
Yeah. Well, that's what I say. We've always approached that. I obsess about pre-production to an annoying degree to my crew sometimes, but it's like very conscious of logos and stuff like that. I mean, and just avoiding that with set dressing, with wardrobe, with costuming and stuff like that, avoiding that in advance, making sure it's not in the shot just so you don't have to deal with it later. But and we went through like, you know, like we had the MPAA rating, which I think is like $2,000 for somebody to watch and be like, yeah, it's PG-13.
Yeah.
Or if they even do it, they're like, how many fucks are in the movie? Like 7. All right, that's fine. PG-13. You know, I mean, we went through it. I'm glad that we did because the product that we have now, I mean, it is worthy of having Lionsgate's logo on it. You know, I mean, it's on their YouTube channel. The trailer just passed 250,000 views like last night. And I think that's what made it worth it because we couldn't even really tell people like you know it's coming out from Grindstone, but Grindstone is owned by Lionsgate, so I mean it's got Lionsgate's name on it, but we couldn't tell people that. So when it finally came out, they're like, oh my god, it's on Lionsgate, how'd that happen? I'm like, we've known this for like a very long time. So I mean, it was just ultimately it was worth it, but it was very painful during that whole time because we didn't have a clue. You know, we'd ask them like, when's it coming out? They're like, we don't. And we didn't have enough star power or whatever like that, you know, for them to really, they were invested in it because they had to pay for certain things in it. But it clearly was not at the top of the release list.
Yeah. And you only had one name in it, really.
Well, we had, well, and that's, depending on who's drafting the press release. So, I mean, we were lucky to have some brilliant people in there. I mean, Vernon Wells, Felissa Rose, Judith O'Day.
I forgot Felissa Rose was. I was thinking Vernon Wells, but you're right. There was a couple of them.
But so I mean, again, Vernon Wells is amazing. Felissa Rose is just, she's just a doll. And I mean, to be able to work with Judith O'Day was nothing short of just absolutely amazing. But and to me, because I mean, like I grew up watching Commando and Sleepaway Camp and Night of the Living Dead, like on a quasi-religious basis. So to work with those people who I grew up watching avidly. And to have them saying words that came out of my head, like it's fucking unreal. But that doesn't mean that, whoever the suit is behind the desk in LA gives two shits about my obsession with Vernon Wells. They'd be like, I don't know that guy. And they're just going to move on. Yeah.
The guy from the Road Warrior.
Like, Melissa Rose, the chick with the dick? Whatever. Which is still, like, Sleepaway Camp still has one of the most jaw-dropping endings.
I had the shirt. I literally have a Sleepaway Camp shirt with that scene on it, with the shot.
Yeah. What I always wanted to give you seen it's a little light switch cover, but it's a Sleepaway Camp light switch cover, so you can flip it up with it.
I've seen that.
And it's just brilliant. So to have those names in there, then Michael Ray Williams and Ellie Church, and I mean everyone that we had on both sides of the camera was amazing, but that's not their star power to be able to drop into a little blurb and people were going to flock and be like, it didn't have the demand that they wanted. Yeah. So we were at the bottom of the list and we were just waiting, and we thought that it was just, we had just gotten forgotten about.
Yeah.
And then out of the blue, they're like, well, we need this form and this form and this form. I'm like, okay, why? And they're like, well, your movie's coming out in August. Oh, okay. And they're like, we're working on a trailer. We've got posters, all the stuff like that. I'm like, that's cool. Can we see it? No. Okay. I was like, please? They're like, no, that wasn't your contract. I'm like, we didn't know to ask, but we know now.
Yeah.
But
once they have it, they can change it.
Yeah. Well, and that was the big thing. Like, there was never, I had final control of the cut. Like, they didn't change anything about the movie.
Yeah.
There was never an email. I was figuring there was gonna be email, but like, you need to change it to like Die Clown Die or something else like that.
Yeah.
There was never anything about changing the name. So it was like, in terms of the horror stories you hear, we got super, super lucky. Was it ideal? Did it work out the way I would have wanted to? I mean, ultimately, yeah, but I mean, for what it is to be able to have that movie and to have the people involved and to have Lionsgate's name on it and stuff like that, like we're happy campers.
Yeah, and I had actually forgotten about this film completely because
that'll happen over the course of 6 years.
Yeah, because again, I was told about it from Mazza like you said, 2019, and I think I'd asked him, probably through COVID at some point, like, hey, what happened with that film, and I think he probably said, well, I don't know, it's still being worked on, or it's, stuff's happening. And then that was the last I heard. Yeah, that's the last I heard. And then I just completely forgotten about it. And then it was not long before it came out. I had actually came to North Carolina because my daughter still lives in North Carolina, which is actually why I'm here now. And so I had came down to visit my daughter, and I went in to see Jody, and Jody's like, hey, there's going to be a film coming out soon that I'm in, I'll send you a link whenever it comes out, so you can rent it, or, wherever it's at, how Jody talks.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, well, what's the film? And he's like, oh, it's some film called Kill Giggles. And I was like, I remember that film. I was like, that film's finally coming out. And he's like, yeah, it's finally coming. Then it was like, I left and went home, and it was literally, I swear it was the next week. And I think it had to be a Tuesday morning because it came out on a Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And I got up, and John Mazza had messaged me and said, hey, Kill Giggles is out. And I'm like, oh, well, Jody just told me about this. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, where's it at? He's like, well, it's on, you can rent it here. I was like, okay, so it's out there. It's out there on digital. So like, I go, because I buy most of my stuff on Vudu or Fandango at home. Mm-hmm. And so I go to Fandango at home, open it up, and like, it's one of the first films on the list of like new at home or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, it's like I didn't even have to search it. It was like, wow, this film is literally right here in front of me on the main screen on Fandango at home. And so I bought it that morning, the morning of release. I didn't rent it. I actually bought it.
I appreciate that.
Because for me, I prefer to buy physical, but I buy a lot of digital where I'm on the road. Mm-hmm. I'm touring, so I have my iPad, and so I watch a lot of films while I'm on the road on my iPad. So I buy a lot of digital as well as physical. So I'm not much of a person that rents films, unless it's just something that I know we're going to review for the podcast, and I know I'm not going to like it, and it's something I don't have, but I know I have to watch it, and it's like, I'm like, okay, I'll rent, well, I'll rephrase this. If I can buy it, if it's on sale for $5 and it's a movie I don't like and I have to review it, I will buy it for $5 on digital. Versus $4.99 to rent.
Right.
You know. But if it's something that I have to review that I know I've seen before and I'm not a fan of, and I'll rent it. But anything else, like if it's a new release and if it's something I know I'm interested in, even if I've not seen it, even though I might hate it, if it's an indie film or something like that, I usually just buy it. I don't rent it. I just automatically just buy it. Oh. So yeah, I was excited, and I watched it that day.
Nice,
it was released.
It's very cool.
And did not know what to expect because I knew it was a clown film. I knew it was called Giggles. I knew I had a few friends in it, and did not read any of the plots.
Good. You went into it cold.
I like going into films cold. Mm-hmm. Like I love going into films blind, and I think a lot of times it makes for a better experience. Mm-hmm. I didn't even watch the trailers. Okay. I just knew of the film, and I do that a lot. Or a lot of times I will buy random indie films that I see, and if the cover looks, I kind of go by the old school of buying albums a lot of times.
If the cover looks cool.
If the cover looks cool, I may buy that, you know. And it's not saying I don't watch trailers, I do. But if it's something that I'm kind of interested in that I know about, I try to avoid all spoilers.
Okay.
So I don't like to watch a lot of trailers. And so this is one that I knew about. It was in my ear, and so I put all trailers out. I didn't read any of the plot summaries and went into it cold because I always think that makes for a more fun experience for the first time. And man, that opening scene. That got me from the start. I was like, that's an ugly woman. What? So yeah, this movie started off the gate. I was like, this is not what I thought I was going to be watching.
I appreciate that, sir. Thank you.
So where did you come up with the idea? So for you guys that haven't seen it, it's called Kill Giggles. Mm-hmm. It's clown horror, but it's not about psychotic clowns. It's about a serial killer killing clowns. Mm-hmm. It's the opposite. So where did this spin off of? This idea?
I suffer from a nigh crippling case of coulrophobia. I hate clowns. I can't stand them. I blame most of it on the marionette scene from Poltergeist. Mm-hmm. A lot of people were like, "Oh, it's Pennywise." Yeah. Pennywise was Tim Curry. I'm not scared of Frankenstein. Yeah. That marionette scene from Poltergeist fucking unhinged me. And I got tired of seeing all the movies, the TV shows where the clowns were the killers. They were the monsters, the psychos, the spreaders and purveyors of mayhem and madness. I wanted to see a serial killer of clowns. I'm like, well, surely that's had to have been done before. So I started doing my research, and me and Shirley teamed up, and we couldn't find any instance of that ever happening. I'm like, Hollywood is making reboots or remakes or refranchises on a biannual basis. How has this not been done before? And I couldn't find anything about it. So that spurred an idea. I'm like, there's an original idea left. And it was like the burning bush in the back of my mind. And I just started scribbling down in composition books. And originally it was going to be a short film. I was like, well, it would just be kind of fun to be able to do this. And then I had 4 composition books full of clown death, which I'm sure will come in handy at my commitment hearing eventually. Because everything, there's not an inch of blank space left on the page. So I'm like, all right, well, clearly it's got to be a feature. So I just kept going. Kept going and going and going. And, just kind of, how would I want to kill a clown? I'm like, I've always wanted to draw and quarter somebody, so that could be fun. And there's a lot of stuff that didn't make it into the film because the first draft of the screenplay was about 300 pages. Mm-hmm. And my DP would ask me, he's like, how's the screenplay going? I'm like, it's 300 pages. And he would kind of pee a little because that's way too long. Yeah. I was like, it could be an 18-hour Ken Burns narrated documentary on the the history of clown killing in the world. But that was too long, so we trimmed it down and stuff like that. But I wanted to be able to see a serial killer of clowns. And to me, it seemed like such a simple trope. And I think a lot of people have dismissed Kill Giggles. It's just another clown, killer clown movie. It's a killer of clowns movie. It is, to me, it's that subtle distinction that, it doesn't make us any better than the Terrifiers or anything else like that. There's Billy Pond's Circus of the Dead. Those movies are brilliant for what they are. Mm-hmm. But what I wanted to do was just separate us just a little bit and just flip the script on its rainbow wig covered head just enough to kind of stand on our own.
Yeah.
And I think we did it really well. I think Michael Ray Williams and Ellie Church, were just amazing on screen together. And Michael Ray Williams, I mean, that's my brother from another mother. He and I have worked together for years. He's a star of stage and screen. Anything he does is amazing.
Yeah.
So to be able to see it, and that Kill Giggles is it's very autobiographical. There are certain scenes, lines of dialogue that are lifted out of my life.
Yeah.
The taco scene where where the clown comes in and they're having tacos and stuff like that, and he threatens to stab in the throat with his fucking fork. I did that at a Mexican restaurant, like right down the road. Because the clown came come, I'm like, I will stab you in the throat with my fucking fork. And apparently, like, you're not supposed to say that during Sunday dinner. I'm like, I warned the clown. So it was very autobiographical, but I wanted to be able to see that, just to have something that had some semblance of originality, especially and I think that shines through more coming from the independent world than from Hollywood.
And what's funny and what's crazy is that, again, like I said, I didn't read the plot summaries, I didn't watch the trailers, so I walked in blind and knowing I knew it was a clown movie, I knew it was called Kill Giggles, and that's really all I knew, other than I knew I had some friends that had some small roles in it. And I thought it was going to be just another clown horror film. And I was one of those, but I had... and we just did a top 5 clowns of horror episode for the month of October on the podcast here, and and I actually debated. I was like, well, I can't include Kill Giggles.
Well, you could, like, maybe like an honorable mention or something.
So, but I had actually honorably mentioned. Actually, after the movie came out on the episode, I actually did recommend Kill Giggles at the end of an episode. But saying that, as we did that top 5 clowns of horror episode, when I was going through the list and looking at films and looking at clown horror films and things of that nature, I was like, my list was small. And I got on the episode with Ryan, and I was like, the first thing I said was, I realized how little clown horror I watch. Like, I'm not scared of clowns. It's just not
not your bag.
Not my bag, Terrifier. Obviously, I think everybody's kind of jumped on the art clown bandwagon. He's an odd character. He's a fun character. And Circus of the Dead. I enjoyed Circus of the Dead. I've watched that one, and obviously Tim Curry as Pennywise, I think, is great. And Stitches was another, I thought, underrated one that was really good. But outside of those, I mean, I was like, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. These are
Shakes the Clown.
This is kind of my extent of clown horror, and but when I was watching Kill Giggles, that was what I expected. I was like, it's going to be another clown horror, but I'm going to have fun watching it, And as the movie started, especially, like I said, talk about that opening
with our lovely
scene,
opening scene.
Lovely opening scene. And I'm not going to say no more than what I already said, because if you guys haven't seen it, you have to see the opening scene in Kill Giggles. But
brown chicken, brown cow.
But as this movie went on, I was like, this isn't clown horror. This is a serial killer story. This is actually, and like you said, I was like, the whole time I'm watching it, I'm thinking, I've never seen this concept before on film with a serial killer actually killing clowns. And I was like, this is fantastic. I was like, I fucking love this.
Makes me so happy to hear
it. I love this because it's different. And I actually did I did a written review, I think, on this, didn't I? Maybe.
I saw you did a quick reel that we shared something about.
Well,
I don't know if I saw. I don't know if I saw
I did a quick reel this past week, and I know I did honorable mention in an episode in August when it came out on one of our full episodes. But I swear, I think I may have did a written review too.
Oh yeah, I would love to see it. That'd be awesome.
I'm pretty sure I did, because I know I had talked about this film quite a bit, like when it first came out, because of how original I thought the concept was.
That's very kind of you. Thank you.
I had to go back and double check. I'm 90% sure, though, I did write a written review.
You're going to write one and then change the date on your computer, post it.
It's going to go on our website. I'm going to bump it down but pretty sure it's there though. But it's definitely within the August episodes. I did talk a bit about Kill Giggles in one of those episodes for a fact, and I know that I've had multiple people that actually talk to me that follow our podcast actually go message me and say, "You're right. That was actually a fucking unique clown, film."
That's so much more polite than like I made the mistake of when the trailer came out. And the trailer just went fucking bonkers. They had like 100,000 views in like the first day or two. I'm like, oh my god, this is it. And then I made the mistake of reading the comments on the trailer. I'm like,
never read the comments.
No. My favorite worst one still is was this movie shot on an iPhone 4? I'm like, oh my god.
You know what? I actually, I'm gonna say, and this is another thing, and I rate things, and you have to, especially doing a movie podcast. I look at things not like. I know some people who do film reviews, they'll tear something apart because they're comparing it to a $250 million budget film.
Yeah, apples and oranges.
and that's what I always tell people. I'm like, I rate films and I talk about films based on what they are, creativity, budgets, and I put all this stuff into consideration and how I rate or recommend a film. Like, am I going to tell you, go watch Kill Giggles because it's just as good as the Avengers? I can't say that, but I can say
maybe like Roger Corman's the Avengers or something.
His Fantastic Four is still
the
best Fantastic Four. I will argue, apples and oranges be damned. Roger Corman's Fantastic Four is better than Pedro Pascal's Fantastic Four.
I haven't seen that one yet. I want to watch that one too. I haven't watched it.
It's beautifully shot.
Okay.
Not to get off Kill Giggles. Beautifully shot. I love the retro feel of like a 1950s science fiction style film with like the set designs and shit. Like, I think it's a beautiful film. But the beginning of the film is basically a quick summary of building you up to the Fantastic Four already being established, which I'm perfectly fine with that.
It's not another origin story.
Yeah. The only thing is like in that little intro, there's this whole thing about them fighting the Mole Man, and then it jumps from that to them fighting Galactus, and I wanted to see them fight Mole Man.
Yeah,
I wanted that.
That's like the first issue.
I want to see that. That's the movie I want to see, and you just give me clippets of it at the beginning, and then you give me Galactus. I'm like, you blew your wad, well, you could have saved this for a second film, I'm like, I want to see Mole Man, So I walked out of the. It's okay. I'm not gonna tell you it's a bad movie. It's okay. It just wasn't for me, and I love that. I love that Roger Corman Fantastic Four. I love that. It's 1990, and it leaked onto the internet. Fantastic Four. I think that was way better than the Fox ones that came out later. But back to what back to my comparisons though. Yeah. Watching a film like Kill Giggles, I would rate it different. I wouldn't, like I said, I'm not going to rate it with a Marvel movie or so on. I'm going to rate it with films within that genre, or how creative it is. And one thing I'll say is, you talked about how it looked like it was shot on an iPhone 9 or whatever. I thought
it was iPhone 4. Dude.
iPhone 4.
It was bare bones.
I actually thought it was beautifully shot.
Good.
That'll
make Jesse and I very happy.
Yeah, I actually watched this film, and to give you. I'm not bashing this other film because we actually had this film. We talked about this film pretty recently and had one of my friends actually from the movie Graveyard Shark. I don't know if you heard of this film. It's on Tubi for free.
No, my son and I we're big fans of the entire shark subgenre. So yeah, Graveyard Shark. We've seen a lot of the Tubi shark movies.
So this film, it was shot here in North Carolina as well.
Nice.
So my good friend of mine, and he was actually on the show. He actually plays the Graveyard Shark.
We're gonna see. We'll check that out.
But comparing that film to Kill Giggles, I thought the shots in Kill Giggles were beautifully shot, and I'm comparing them because I watched both of them pretty close to the same time. Mm-hmm. Your movie was beautifully shot. I thought the cameras, I didn't have an issue with the quality of the camera quality, or I thought the shots were beautiful. And I don't know and I'm going to ask you in a minute, but I don't know what the budget was. But from a low budget standpoint, I thought Kill Giggles looked great. And talking about and I kind of compared it to Graveyard Shark because I watched it within weeks of each other of this, and I thought yours was better shot than that film, even though I'm not bashing that film. I love that film, and you guys have heard me talk about that film in the interview of the reasons why I love that film. Because it's a silly, off the wall, fucking bonkers horror film.
Yeah, I mean, great. It's all right there in the title.
Yeah, it's in the title. You know what you're getting, Graveyard Shark. But I was kind of comparing them at the same time, and I was like, I thought the visuals of what you were doing within a low budget, I thought it looked great.
That's awesome. Thank you, sir. That's very kind. That'll make our director of photography a very happy boy. So
yeah. So that being said, what was the budget?
What's the budget?
Yeah. What's the budget? What is it? What is it?
What the fuck's a budget? We've never had one of those. Well, with Mad Ones Films, which my production company, we've always sort of prided ourselves on making films on an aglet of a shoestring of a budget. And with Giggles, we did a couple of we did the traditional crowdsourcing like Indiegogo thing. Mm-hmm. We also did we went with a company called Start Engine, which was equity crowdsourcing. So basically, sort of sold shares in the film. Yeah. So and not perk based or anything like that. So all in total between like those two campaigns and then what I was lucky enough to borrow from my father-in-law, who I still owe money. All total. I mean, it was probably just right under $40,000. I think if that, like
this
maybe.
Film's beautiful for $40,000.
I appreciate it.
It's beautiful for $40,000. I've seen $1 million budget films look way lower quality than what you put out.
That's very kind. Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
See, I was curious about the actual budget because I thought it looked good. And watching it from a low budget standpoint, indie standpoint, I thought it looked great.
Well, I mean, we got really like. I mean, the cameras. And everyone to us were like, "What cameras did you use?" I'm like, "I don't know. It was black." And then there was like a lens thingy, and I'm like, I am not the guy to ask about the gear.
Yeah.
But between with Jesse Knight and then Tristan Chaika, who are our camera ops, DP and then camera op, those two guys are amazing. I mean, pretty much like whatever is in front of the camera in front of them is going to look beautiful.
Yeah.
And then Jaysen Buterin, and Jesse was one of the executive producers. He's been with me since the very beginning of Giggles. Jaysen Buterin is another one of those, and he was a gaffer. So I mean, and they worked very well together. So to be able to have lighting and camera working together, and then like I said, I obsessed about pre-production. So I mean, we walked through every location we could. I was snapping shots and stuff like that, so that we know before we ever get on set, this is going to be our shot list. This is where we're going to shoot. This is what the lighting is like. This is what we're going after and stuff like that. So we were able to have that synergy, which saved a lot of time when we showed up on set because we had a 19-day shoot. We were in a different location every day. So I mean, it was set up, get in, get the shots, get out, tear down, go to the next place. I mean, it was a lot, but we were able to, I think, really just make movie magic by talking about it. And I am obsessed about this movie. I spent probably 5-6 years writing the script. I mean, it just kept going and going and going and going and going and going and going. So I mean, I put a lot of thought into it just because, by having that original idea, like it had to be great. It couldn't just be good.
Yeah.
And for what we were able to pull off with the budget that we had, and we had a excuse me, we had a lot of people that were very kind to us. We couldn't afford to pay people what they're worth. But we were able to get a lot of stuff, not donated, but I mean, just we were able to take advantage of the friends and family discount in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Especially like shooting in places like the Ramcat, and then like for the soundtrack, there's an amazing artist, Mary Prankster. She's a rock and roll goddess. She wrote an original song for the film, and then that ended up going on her new album. So she wrote the song "Clownin'," which is the opening song at the beginning of the movie. Because originally I wanted to be able to have "Psycho Killer" by the Talking Heads. So I'm just like, that fucking bass line, boom. I plotted, and I had this whole expansive like illustrative credit sequence showing like clown killing throughout history and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I found out that it was like $50,000 to use that song. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, musicians love movie money. We love movie money.
I was like, $50,000. I'm like, is that in American dollars? They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, shit. So I went to Plan B, and Plan B worked out far better than Plan A ever would have anyway. So if you want to make a movie and you want to have Talking Heads music in it, you have to have money. Yeah. Or really, I mean, just a lot of I can. There's some of the songs like I've heard. I mean, just like it's like $100,000. You can use like 30 seconds of the song.
Yeah. No, it's
okay.
It's bonkers. And
So we got lucky, but our budget pales in comparison even to a lot of other. I mean, I've worked on indie short films that have like 50, 60 grand budgets. I'm just like, holy shit. So we were able to make something amazing for what we had, for the resources that we had, and I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, movie money for musicians is it's always up there, especially whenever the record label's dictating.
Oh,
so
the record label or ASCAP or BMI
that's it's they always want that big money, and I know we had one song put on a werewolf soundtrack, but I think luckily at the time the song was not under a record label. Mm-hmm. So like we were between record labels at the time, and Waylon was like, "Yeah, we'll just do this. Pay us this X amount of money, and it's after that we're good, And it wasn't even like an astronomical number. It wasn't a small number, but it wasn't like wasn't 50 grand. It wasn't 50 grand, But now, especially with songs on record labels and going through, I mean everybody wants their cut, and so there's always,
rightfully so. But when you're on on an angle of a shoestring of a budget, and
it makes it
hard for like craft services because people want to eat.
It makes it hard if you're not Disney or Sony or whoever, that's just saying, oh yeah, that's what we want. There it is. There's the money. How was the film actually done streaming wise? I mean, you don't have to give me a dollar amount, but I mean, is a lot of people watching? Is a lot of eyes been seeing?
Yeah, I mean, as far as we know, we don't really know any of the specifics yet. So I mean, as far as we've been told, I mean, and then I've had other people. I've been at festivals and stuff like that recently, where I've just had an exorbitant amount of people like, I rented it, I bought it already, and stuff like that. So I mean, as far as we know, it's doing really well, and just to finally have the movie out for people to be able to see it, because for the longest time, like there were people that had made the movie that hadn't seen it. We had a very we had a very nice run on the film festival circuit, and we were very lucky to be able to get some awards and accolades and stuff like that for our work. But if you didn't see it at a film festival, then I mean, we couldn't do anything with it for the longest time. So to finally have the movie out and for people to be able to see what we did, and for the people that made the movie to be able to see it and share it with their friends and family and strangers and loved ones and internet people and everything like that, just to be able to be proud of the work that they made is amazing. So as far as we know, it's doing aces. You can always do better. If you want to watch it, download it, buy it. And then maybe if enough people want to watch it, we'll get like a small theatrical release or like a physical media release.
And that was my next question: is there going to be a physical media release, or is there maybe a one-off theatrical release?
These are questions we've asked. We just haven't had answered yet. And I in this day and age, I honestly don't know which is more economically feasible. If it's easier just to rent out a couple of theaters and see how it does, as opposed to sinking money into production and packaging and everything else like that, and then you've got like this physical product. If you don't move, we would happily move all the physical copies. That wouldn't be a problem. Well, but I don't know which they're gonna more apt to do.
Yeah, and it's no different in the music industry now. Especially we don't press that many albums anymore. We press some vinyl, we press some CDs. We just had our Victim 2 album come out, and it's sold out.
Nice, congratulations.
I mean, physical sold out. I mean, record labels in the process, I think, right now of ordering more CDs. But CDs sold out. I think the vinyls they may be sold out or almost sold out. So, but record labels don't order 20,000 copies anymore, 50,000 copies to send out to stores. It's 1,000 copies or 2,500 copies, and once those are gone, then they reorder to see how things go. But it's always
very small
smaller quantities. And I know a lot of the film industry has following suit, trying to follow suit with the music industry with physical production. Like they're not pressing. They're moving into that digital format, and that's what they want. It's cheaper.
Well, I mean, the overhead overall. I mean, you don't have the production cost. You don't have a warehouse full of crap sitting around for years or months or weeks at a time. I get it from the dollar perspective, but from the artist perspective, it's like fuck, dude, like I really want Kill Giggles on like the puffy VHS copy. Like and I have 2 working VCRs. Like I want to put a video cassette of my movie into a VCR and then see it come up. And like that would be a bucket list item for me.
Well, and the thing is it's cheaper to have it digital, but I mean a lot of times there's more money to be made in physical if you can sell it.
Yeah.
But you don't want to have 10,000 copies of Kill Giggles sitting in a basement or in a warehouse.
That'd be cool though, because I could make like a little like fort out of them.
You could. But a small 500 run.
Yeah.
Well, I think that would sell pretty quick.
Well, I think I would want to buy copies just for everyone that made the movie and be like, here you go, in lieu of pay, have a copy of the movie. I mean that would be amazing. And physical media, I mean, is sort of a dying art, and then sort of a collectible art form at the same time. So yeah, and again, like I don't know if Grindstone, Lionsgate, if they would be like, well, let's get like 5 theaters in these cities or whatever like that and see what happens. Or I mean, either one we would be grateful for. So hopefully the digital numbers will get someone's attention. There was for a few weeks there on Lionsgate's YouTube page, like the Kill Giggles trailer was outpacing the stuff that had like, there was some movie that had like Jennifer Lopez and it had like 6,000 views and we had 100,000. I'm like, suck it, J-Lo!
Yeah.
I'm sure her trailer is probably far surpassed mine now at this point. But for that very short period of time, I was cooler than J-Lo in taco flavored kisses. So I mean, like it was just just to be able to see that was it makes your heart happy.
Well, and physical media, and we talk about this a lot on the show, is we all know physical media is going away outside of collectors and smaller companies like Shot Factory and Vinegar Syndrome. These companies are going to be the companies that keep physical media alive. It's not going to be Walmart.
Screen Team does a great job of it too. They have an amazing video store online.
And I mean, a lot of your retailers don't even sell physical media anymore. I mean, Best Buy doesn't, Target doesn't. Walmart's kind of the last big box retailer standing with still selling physical film media.
How bad is that Walmart's like the last bastion of physical media? Because like Walmart put Blockbuster out of business. Blockbuster put all the mom and pop shops out of business, and now it's just like, holy fuck, are we rooting for Walmart to stick around?
I'm rooting for the bad thing is I hate Walmart, but I'm rooting for Walmart to keep physical media alive. But I'm a firm believer in physical media because even as much as I buy digital, I mean, I literally said I buy digital for while I'm on tour and on the road, and for simplicity if I'm at home. I'm not going to lie, I don't have to dig through a shelf and find a movie. I'll talk, there it is, boom. But, however, I love physical media, and I talk about this a lot because there's films out there that aren't available on digital and may never be available on digital, and it's sad. I mean, these are films that I love. There's a lot of films, like one of my all-time favorite 80s films is a film called a film by Albert Pyun, Radioactive Dreams. I don't know if you remember this one.
It sounds familiar.
Albert Pyun, who did Sword and Sorcerer.
Because I've got that on V. I had to buy it on VHS because I couldn't find it on digital anywhere. I'm like, well, fuck, I'll buy a video copy of it.
Well, and he's a prime example. A lot of Albert Pyun's films, some of them here and there are out there, but a lot of them aren't available on digital. And one specifically, Radioactive Dreams, which starred John Stockwell and which was in Christine and films like that, and Michael Dudikoff.
Cool.
Pre-American Ninja.
Okay.
And so you get films like that are so unique and odd films, and they're films that I love. It may not be for everybody, obviously, because a lot of people don't know what the fuck Radioactive Dreams is, but they should. And with that no physical media, or not even out there on digital, physical media is what keeps this stuff alive, and there's a lot of stuff that's out of print. We've seen big films, one recently, a couple. I mean, you've seen Dogma disappear because of rights issue. There was no physical releases. All the physicals were out of print, and there was no digital release, but it's coming now. Same with The Abyss. You'd think in 2023, a movie like The Abyss, Steven Spielberg movie, not Steven Spielberg, but James Cameron film, one of James Cameron's biggest films, You could go anywhere and watch that on streaming in 2023. You couldn't.
Wow.
That film did not get a digital release until last year.
Holy cow.
So it was like, physical media is important.
Yeah, no, it is.
So,
well, to me, and just being able to, like the digital, the ease of access for digital stuff is fantastic. Like you said, if you're on the road or whatever like that, or if you don't have the space to house your physical media, which it does take up space. But to me, being able to have something palpable in your hands, a physical copy of the artwork that, before you put pen to paper, before you shot stuff, did not previously exist in this world. I mean, like you literally birthed this product, you created it, it's your baby, and now you're holding it, and you've got something physical that you can hold, that you can put into a player, you can pop in to do so, you can watch, you can read something, you can do something with it. Other than just, being zeros and ones floating around in the cloud in some dude's basement, I mean, that's all. The cloud is great and all. But like sometimes you just need something to hold. I mean, being having grown up in the 1900s and being a child of the 80s, like you said, you mentioned like artwork. Like, I mean, I can still remember going into, it was Video Classics in Warrenton, Missouri, and just, like hitting, like the horror aisle was on one side and the sci-fi aisle was on another. And I can still remember, like, like the cover for Sleepaway Camp, for Friday the 13th, what was the movie, like XTRO, like I still remember the cover for that, and like in the back of it, and that's what I love, because like you see the cover, like, oh, and you flip it and you read the little like two paragraph blurb on the back, and that between the front and the back, like that had to hook you, and it did a lot of the time. So I like being able to have those physical media copies just to look at it. Like, to me, like with albums, liner notes are important. And it's like I've reached a point, like with COVID, everything I listen to is almost on vinyl. Like, unless I'm working and doing stuff on the laptop, like everything is just vinyl. My vinyl collection has taken over my physical media upstairs, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
My wife, not so much, and we might have to move and get a bigger house because I'm running out of room for the records. But like, and I've showed my son, I'm like, these are like this liner notes, and just pulling it out and just showing him, like all the creative enhancements that went into making an album.
Yeah.
And to me, like, that's important, and being, to be appreciative of the work that all the people, the engineers, the artists, I mean, like, all the people that went into putting this copy of that, whatever it is, in your hands. That's important.
Yeah.
And that's why one of the reasons why physical media will never die for me is just to be able to have something physical to hold on to.
And that's me, and that way I have it. I can always go listen to it. I can always go watch it. And even like with films, buy DVDs just for the special features sometimes, and I don't know how many different versions of Phantasm I own, just because of the.
Well, it's got this commentary or this behind the scenes, or a featurette or documentary.
Then had all these different versions, different covers, and then the whole box set's coming out. Okay, I bought the box set, $120 some, and then a month later, the Sphere box set's coming out.
You're like, God damn it!
Well, I gotta buy that now. Well, you have to buy it. Because, it's the only way you get the unrated Phantasm 2. Yeah. So, okay, gotta buy that one now. Yeah.
I get it, dude. You're preaching to the choir.
So, but you can't get a lot of that content, with digital. You can't. Some things will have some behind the scenes stuff, but like in some bonus features on digital. But for the most part, not much. I don't think, and I own Army of Darkness on digital and multiple Blu-rays and DVDs and VHSs, but I don't think on any of the digital releases I have of that it has deleted scenes where you can go watch that alternate ending of Army of Darkness. There's things like that you can get on those physical medias that are just reasons to keep them.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of stuff for Killers. Like, I mean, we shot 3 featurettes. We've got a proof of concept. One of the things I'm really, really proud of, and we haven't advertised a whole lot, is, I mean, we've got a 70, 80 minute behind it. We had a documentary crew shooting with us while we were shooting Killers and doing interviews with all the people and stuff like that. So it's called Inside the Circus Tent. And I've got the link. It's hidden on YouTube. I've got the link and I'll shoot it to you. But I mean, it's just. Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes pretty much like from like start to finish. Like my mom's interviewed on it. Like, I mean, we interviewed everyone I know is in the movie. My wife's in the movie. My son's in the movie. Like, brother Mass is in the movie in a couple places. Yes, I mean my mom's in the movie with one of her dogs. So I mean we put a lot of people in there, but the behind the scenes documentary is amazing.
Yeah.
And very 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 emotional, at least for me. So like I would love, if Kill Giggles, Lionsgate, Grindstone, if you're out there, like if Kill Giggles gets a physical media release, like I would love to be able to put that on there too.
Yeah.
So, I mean we have a lot of stuff that we could put together a really amazing physical media package.
Yeah.
That would have stuff that no one, that some people have never ever seen. Like we've got the goodies to be able to fill the bag. We just need someone to pay the bill.
Yeah, I get that. And it'd be awesome if you could get like, and you would have to. I don't know if you would be something you could reach out for, or if it would have to be lawyers in the studio, but to actually do like a Screen Factory, Shot Factory release, special edition with all the bells and whistles, and I know they're pretty hardcore about going to these studios and saying, "Hey, we want to put this out. What can we do to?"
Yeah, how can we facilitate this and make it happen? Yeah.
So, something like that could always be really cool, and I think that would be a good home for Kill Giggles. Could be.
That would be awesome. We'd be down with that too.
So, versus Lionsgate just saying, "Oh, here it is," and package it, and that's it. We're Shout Factory, Screen Factory. They really do some nice bells and whistles, and they have such traction just on their website. They have such a built-in clientele. That I think for me it would be a good home for Kill Giggles.
That would be awesome. Yeah, we would be very happy.
Any projects you're thinking of working on, or
we still got. There's a short film. Excuse me. We shot in 23 and it came out in 24. It's called The Blue-Eyed Boy and Mr. Death. It's a 19-minute short film, and it's unlike anything I'd ever done before, because it's pretty much a very emotional drama with sort of like a slight like a surreal sort of twist at the end, like an original episode of The Twilight Zone. So I mean, something that's just kind of cosmic. You're like, wait. And that's the most personal thing I've ever done, because it was about losing my father to cancer. And I'll show you the link for that too. That one that threw a lot of people for a loop, because we've done a lot of the horror and the thriller stuff, and then we had Kill Giggles, and then the very next thing I do after that is like a very emotional drama that makes people cry.
Yeah.
So that still is lucky enough to be on the film festival circuit, and we're having a good time with that. There's a project I'm hoping to be able to kind of do next summer. That'll be sort of like a 90s horror movie, but like sort of like a horror version of The Breakfast Club.
That'd be cool.
It'll be set in a high school and stuff like that. So just to be able to do a 90s horror movie in a high school where you don't have kids with faces buried in smartphones, that would be super fun. And again, being born in the 1900s and alive during the 1990s, like I remember the high school scene very well.
Yes.
So like that would be something we would shoot locally, probably a lot of it in and around High Point. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that kind of works out, because I wrote the script with a fellow, and then I think I'm attached to direct it. So we're waiting to hear back and stuff and see if that comes to fruition. I've got a couple of other scripts that are on the film festival circuit, the screenplay competition that I would love to be able to shoot. One is called Death Calf. I want to explode a bunch of goth kids and turn them into demons. Because I mean, like, who doesn't want to blow up goth kids?
Yeah.
In a loving way. Not in a mean, malicious way. I have tons of goth friends, and I just want to explode them.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a good time. It's a good way to spend a Saturday night. So, we've got lots of projects and stuff like that. It's just waiting for the magic money man to show up and be like, I love your art and support you, and here you go, and then he just leaves and fucks off and lets you have creative control. Yeah. So yes, we have lots of irons, lots of fires. We just need to have someone pay the propane bill.
I get that. So, if you're out there and you've seen Kill Giggles and you're interested, then no, he's got some stuff and just needs some startup capital.
We do. So, lots of ideas. We have a lot. There's an insane amount of talent, especially in the independent film, in the independent creative communities in North Carolina. In music, film, art, whatever you're looking at. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here. And I'm hoping some of that attention can come back to North Carolina, because I mean, North Carolina, it set the bar for a lot of filmmaking, and then that sort of the politics involved all that up, and then it went down to Atlanta.
It went to Atlanta,
and then the politics are fucking that up, and now everything's going overseas. So I would like to be able to shine that spotlight on North Carolina again. Yeah,
and it was a cool time. We had basically what was being called, I remember before I moved to Ohio, well, long before I was still actually active in the scene here in North Carolina. Wilmington was kind of being called the Hollywood of the East Coast, you know. Then all of a sudden,
all the WBCW shows were coming out. And Screen Gems was out there too, I think.
Yeah, there was a lot. I think even at one point, Trailer Park Boys, some of the Trailer Park Boys stuff ended up moving down into that area, I think. After it was in Canada for the bulk of it. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff that was just, you know, pumping out of that Wilmington area. And then I know what you're talking about. The politics to be that shit got moved to the Atlanta, Georgia area.
No, you can't use bathrooms and fuck your tax incentives. And you're like, wait, what? Three things I never talk about with people are politics, religion, and the Great Pumpkin. But the third one's a lie. I'll talk about the Great Pumpkin.
So yeah. Anything else to add before we get off here? Or?
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Yeah, I think we're going to release this is coming out on Halloween night. That's what I'm planning on. So, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, Giggles.
CineNerdsPodcast.com. You can check out written reviews. I'll have links to everything on there. I've actually added new links for our Reels because Ryan and I have just recently started doing Reels because we don't like social media and the aspect of being like a TikToker and doing Reels. But you know what? For you guys, that's what we're doing. We're trying to
bite that bullet.
We're doing those 1 minute reels now. We just started them like a week ago, and it was Ryan's move that really started it, and I had to follow suit with Ryan. So, but I've got a link on the website now with all the reels that come from our YouTube, which are on our TikTok, which are posted on our Facebooks, and blah blah blah. So it's all out there. Shops out there on the website. Everything's out there. Kill Giggles available on digital. You can rent it. You can buy it. And it's not streaming anywhere for free yet or anything. It's just
not for free, not yet. But I mean, it's on. I mean, like all the major sites. I mean, like YouTube, and then like Apple stuff, and then Google
TV,
Play,
Amazon,
all of them. If you go to killgiggles.com, has all the stuff, and we have a FaceSpace page, which is whatever facebook.com/killgiggles. We had a CB radio handle for a while. It was ClownKiller666, but I don't have a CB radio anymore. We're all big on MySpace. We had a GeoCities page for a while. Any of the kids remember those? We have an AOL Instant Chat Room. We don't have any of that stuff. I'm just pulling stuff out of my very old ass at this point. But it'd be cool if we did.
I miss those AOL chat rooms. Those are fun.
Dial up and you connect at like 56K. You're like, holy shit, the internet's never gonna get faster than this.
That's back in the days when you thought you was talking to a girl, but you were probably talking to a 50-year-old man in a AOL chat room. So.
Yeah, it's probably best not to go there. A lot of awkward romances that were ended prematurely.
Yeah. All right. Well, till next week. I don't know what we're doing on the show next week, but happy Halloween, and thank you for joining me, and thank you guys for joining. Peace.